Kia ora koutou, ko Joanne Hakaraia Olsen, tōku ingoa, Nau Mai Haere Mai ki tēnei wānanga o Rongoa Māori. I'm Joanne Hakaraia Olsen and welcome to my channel. A couple of weeks ago I put up a video on how do you enter the forest, and that was about the life force or the mauri of the forest and how it is symbolic of the mind. And today we're going to be talking about mauri of the forest or the ngahere and how it's symbolic of the mind, but we're going to go into it a little bit deeper and talk about some of the tools that we can use to be able to tune in to that mauri, to that life force. So Nau Mai Haere Mai. In Aotearoa in New Zealand, I know that this land, the flora and fauna was abundant, and it still is beautiful today, but I know that we've only got pockets of that ancient flora. And I know that in the day, hundreds of years ago, it would have been just a bounty of beautiful large trees and flora, and just nature would have been at its finest, and it would have been quiet and peaceful, lots of birds, lots of insects and reptiles that would have been roaming the earth, and a lot of them, some of them obviously extinct today, but just I know that in the day, back in the day, our mind would have been very comparable to the mauri of the forest or the life force of the forest, because there was no disruptions or no mechanical noises or man-made noises like you hear today, or any interference. And so this is the mauri that I'm talking about, the life force that I'm talking about, of how our hinengaro, or how our mind would have been, how our state of mind would have been back then, very, very strong, discerning, very fine-tuned to the elements and the sounds, because we would have been hunting, surviving, and we really would have used our mind at top-notch capabilities. Yeah, so I'm just talking about back in the day when our minds would have been so strong, and our being would have been so strong because of this. And so that is the mauri that I'm talking about, because it is still there. That mauri of the forest, that life force of the forest is still there. Everything that has extinct now, that is no longer here, is still here. So I'm talking about the ancient mauri of the forest, and how our minds would have been so attuned to that because we needed it to be attuned. It was a way of life, and if we weren't attuned and in par with the life force of the forest, then that would have been to the detriment of us. So this is the mauri that I'm talking about, and how astute our minds would have been in the day. And they still can be, and we can use the mauri of a forest as a measuring tool to know how our state of mind is today. Because because hundreds of years ago, that was our state of mind, our state of being, and it was a natural way of being. It was we needed it to be in that state, And now, because of all of the interference and the chaos and the noise that's out there at the moment coming at us, and the man-made frequencies of Wi-Fi and signals and lots of things that we're navigating through, we are finding it hard or challenging to tune in, to really sense our state of mind as one of strength and one of peace and clarity. And so what we can do is utilize the Mauri of the forest to help us and support us in bringing our mind back, bringing our state of being back to one of health and wellness, one of strength, one of peace, and one of discernment, and with so much clarity. So how you enter the ngahere now, how you enter the forest now, is how you enter your mind, or how you enter your state of being. And every journey that we have while we're in the forest is a reflection of our state of mind in that moment. So we can utilize that as a practice to bring it back to ourselves, bring it back to us. Every experience in the ngahere, every experience in the forest that we have is a reflection of where we are in our mind, in our state of being. And every experience that we have in the forest is also a tohu, or a symbol of, or a sign of what we might need to know or reflect on in that moment. So there are wonderful experiences that we can have in the forest, and wonderful learning and experiences that we can have when we're in the forest, if we set that karakia, if we set that intention before we enter. So the mauri that you feel when you are in the ngahere, when you're in the forest, that is sacred, that is divine. It is divine intelligence. When we're in the forest and we are tuned in, we have clarity, we're in there and we are in a state of presence, we are, and we're sensing everything in the forest. We can hear the manu, we can smell the rich aroma of the forest floor, and we can sense all the details that are in the forest as we walk, the flutter of a bird that's looking for worms, or the scurrying of little lizards that are in the forest. And when we're fully tuned in and it's so quiet, the air, the atmosphere is still, and when we're in there, it's like we are fully connected. We are fully connected to ourselves. We are fully connected to the sacred being that is divine. And it is this divine intelligence that I am talking about. This is what I am talking about. And when our mind, when our being is fully connected into that presence, then our state of mind is fully grounded in the here and now. When we are fully connected to the sacred, or that divine essence, we are so present in our being. Our state of mind is our being. We are fully connected and in tune with the universe, with universal flow. And our power is right in that moment when we can fully connect with the nature around us, with divine intelligence. And in that moment, we know exactly what we meant to do, exactly who we are at the core. We know what pathway we meant to be on. We can feel our truth. We know our truth. We know that we are in alignment when we can fully connect in with the sacred being that is us. And it's this sacred presence that we fully need to encapsulate right now, remembering how sacred we are, remembering who we are. And what I am finding helpful and what supports me in remembering my sacred being is when I enter the ngahere, when I enter the forest. When we have been able to embody that intelligence, when we've been able to embody that sacredness that we feel in the forest, we can embody that anywhere, anytime, wherever we are, because we can return or remember that feeling. We've already embodied it and it's already within us, but sometimes we need reminding what that feels like. And so we can embody that and bring that into being wherever we are, whenever we need that. It's just tuning into that sound or that vibration, because that's what it is. It's a vibration that moves the cellular level, the cells in the body. It can shift your cells, and it can, in the moment, bring you back into the moment. We can embody that sound, that vibration of the sacred that we've experienced. We can embody it. It's already within us since the beginning. It's already there. But sometimes we need reminding of what it feels like, and that's okay. We need reminding to activate it, to bring it to life again. And once we can return back to that essence, and it's a vibration, it's a sound, because if you think about what the modi is of a forest right now, you can remember it's a sound, it's a frequency, and you can breathe that into your body and imbue it again, or activate your cells to remember what it feels like, who you are at the core, because that is who you are. And our role is to be able to maintain that vibration and remember that vibration, so that we can be it not only for ourselves, but for the people around us, for our environment. And it's as simple as taking a deep breath in and breathing that modi into your body, into your being. And as you breathe out, you're breathing out the vibration, the sound, into every part of your being. And you keep doing that until every cell in your body has been activated, and it is sounding that code which is the modi of the forest. It is a code. It is a sound. It is a vibration. And in that code and sound are messages, not detailed messages, but it is a message that when you come into presence with another being, they can sense that from you, and it helps them to remember as well. So this is what our role is to remember who we are at the core, and it is sacred. It is a sacred feeling. It is a sacred sound. Remember in the beginning there was the word. In the beginning there was sound. And we have to remember what that sound is to activate that again. And the forest is one of the places that I know that can bring us back to the essence of what that sound is. Now, I know that it can be challenging when we first start out to connect into the forest. I know that it can be challenging because of everything that we have got going on in our mind, all the chaos that we're sitting in. It is hard to navigate that. It is hard, and I understand that. I understand the noise that is there, and I know that it is challenging to go from that heaviness of noise filling our mind, our being, that there is no space, that there is no clarity, there is nothing, there's no movement to enter the forest. I understand that. And so how I work with people is we start just with a simple tool, and we do need tools to get to that space of clarity, to make space in the body, to make space in the mind, before we even enter the forest, to even try and tune into the forest, because we need space to enter. And so working with a simple tool, and there is a list of tools that we could use, but there is one that that I'd like to talk about today, which is called karakia, or a prayer, or an incantation, or an intention. And they're all very similar. It's about setting your intention of what it is that you're trying to achieve. And what I love about karakia, or prayer, is that they are very old and ancient and coded, and they have there's meaning behind it, that if you were to sit and contemplate and reflect on the words that you're saying, or imbuing, really, that you're imbuing into your being, if you were to sit with those, it would unlock other doors for you to enter. But you need to know the whakapapa of the karakia, where it comes from and what it is actually saying, or the whakapapa or knowledge of the prayer that you're saying also. It's important to know what you're saying. So if you've got something, or you can say an intention that is very clear of what you'd like to achieve. And in this instance, for me, a karakia is about bringing myself into present time, bringing myself into the sacred being that I am. And I know that the words are so powerful that I just have to keep saying them over and over. I just have to keep saying them over and over, and feel the wairua, or the mauri, or the essence of the words that I'm saying, that it will also have an effect on my being. It will start to change me. It will start to do something within me, activate my cells, shift something that will enable me to be able to create space. And herein lies the mahi, or the work. Because if you're trying to create space in your life through prayer, and you're asking to create space, the universe will reveal to you what needs to be let go of, or to create space in your life. And you may not like what the universe shows you. And this is where your dedication and commitment to what you're trying to achieve comes in, because the universe will certainly support you into aligning you with what you're meant to be doing, or with your purpose. The universe will flow with you, will support you, and it will reveal to you what needs to go. And this is where the work is. And if you don't like what the universe is showing you, what needs to go, whether it is a person in your life, or a job, or you have to change a career path, or something simple like diet, the diet needs to change, or you have to stop drinking, stop smoking. These are all very, very challenging things to let go of. But this is what the universe will do for you. It will show you that this needs to go. And that's where the mahi lies. Just keep doing the karakia, keep doing your prayer every day. It's not easy. It's not easy. But the faster you want to be in alignment with who you really are, with your core essence, the quicker you want to be that person, the faster you will make the changes, And I would say you already know what needs to go. You already know what needs to go, or what needs to change. It could be your perception of what needs to go. Maybe you need to change your perception. And this is why prayer can be very helpful at this time. Because all you really need to know or do is be in your truth, come from your heart, your truth, your alignment. You just need to come from your truth, which means bringing it back to you, your truth. This is your compass. Your heart is your compass. It is your navigator. It has always been your navigator, always. When we go against or don't listen to this navigational rangatira, this compass, when we don't listen to this is when we start to have a conflict in our body. First, it's a conflict in our spirit, in our wairua, and then that trickles down into our body. The body is always the last post that we see the effects. So the heart is what you need to come back to listen to. Through all the noise, you know what is your truth. You know. And it can hurt, and it can be a lot of work, and it can cause a lot of conflict up here. This will just keep telling you the truth. If this goes against, your mind goes against the truth, then there's always going to be a conflict. Always. And so it's about aligning this with this. And it can be as fast or as slow as you like it to be. But can I recommend or suggest, if you just continue saying your karakia, your prayer, your intention, bringing it back to you, always bringing it back to you, and focusing in on your heart. Focusing in on your heart and knowing what is your truth. learning to listen to this for a change. Listen to your heart, which means coming out of here and dropping down into here. And that is a big distance for some people. It is a really big distance to drop from here to here. And it is a practice. And that is why we need tools to support us to get from here to there. And this is the same thing what I'm talking about from entering the forest. It is getting from our chaotic mind into the modi of the forest, aligning our being with the modi of the forest. It's the same thing, just a different analogy. So that is the work. That is the work. But karakia, prayer and intention every day, bringing it back to yourself and learning to listen to the heart. Acknowledge the heart at least. Acknowledge the heart at least. It's done a lot of work all your life and beyond. It's time to acknowledge that.